like this. LP's response generally to all the respondents, or LP's final address rather to all the respondents, is really built on four different major points. Two are subs, four different major points, right? Um, if you want to classify it properly, you can say it's just three. So the three being, let me just say the three, then I'll tell you the one that is broken down to for that too. The three being, relating to disqualification. The first one relating to disqualification. The second one relating to non-substantial compliance. Then the third one relating to, Tinubu not being declared rightly, relating to 25%. Let me put it like that so people get it. But under disqualification, it's properly broken down into, forfeiture for drug trafficking and money laundering, and Shettima's double nomination. So if you look at what I just listed, it's like four. Forfeiture, Shettima double nomination, substantial compliance or non-substantial compliance, then 25%. I'm trying to set this base so that people would understand the conversation going forward and know that, okay, this is not some random, like the legal team, what they did is not some random writing. They were not just writing haphazardly, they were writing strategically. So if you read the reply to Tinubu and Shettima, so across all the documents, there was a very huge, as in every of those points was well touched, adequately enough to win this case. Every of those points, those 4 points, was well argued, adequately, in fact, beyond adequately to win the case. But just to have extra, like I often say to people, that it's annoying that we have to fight extra in this fight, because we know we are not only fighting against flesh and blood, we're also fighting against principalities and powers, right? We know we are not fighting against just INEC, Shettima and Tinubu and APC. We know we are also fighting against the judicial system. So, and in football, I usually give this example because people could relate more to this. In football, if you are playing a game where the referee is biased, the referee is not neutral. The referee has been bought, is biased. Knowingly or unknowingly, you would the team that is the referee is against will need to play extra hard to win the match. So even if they were a good team normally and can win the other team anytime, any day, but because now they are playing against a team that the referee was supporting, they will need to play extra in such a way that the team that the referee is supporting may not even cross center of the field. So that's what LP legal team needed to fight. So I'm trying to create this picture in your mind. And they did it beyond adequately. So what I'm saying is that even if the judiciary wants to be biased, they cannot uphold Tinubu's victory or presidency. And even if they want to be biased. So I need people to get that. Each of these cases were argued, each of these four grounds, or, I don't know what to call it, four issues for determination, really. Not literally, but really. Were well argued that if you read these documents keenly, like if you read it like as if you want to write an exam on it, which is how I usually read it. I read it as if I'm going to write an exam on it. So if you read it that closely, you discover that you'll be able to pick out some strategic moves that it did. And of course, since everything is done and dusted now, so if this was, I wouldn't have even known before now, except I read it, right? So there's nothing big deal. So what they did was, in each of the just to win a match because the referee is bought. Just to go extra, the legal team picked out each case to argue extremely. And I'm using the word extremely without apology. Like they argued it extremely and deeply for each case. And because, if you want to argue that extremely, because they are limited by 40 pages, they might not be able to do it on every document. So what they did was, strategically, on each of the document, they argued 25%. So if you remember the four things I said, they argued 25% deeply and extremely on each of the documents. They argued 25% deeply and extremely. So why I didn't need to read APC and INEC's own thoroughly was because it has a lot of similarities, like Chris Maxwell said just now. So they argued 25% thoroughly and deeply and extremely. Don't mind them, my adverbs. So, but what they did was, in the response to Tinubu and Shetima, they argued the drug forfeiture more extremely than every other ones. Then for APC, they argued double nomination. If you read the documents for Tinubu and Shetima, you discover that the part for double nomination looks as if they just they touched it, made the main point that needed to be made, and left it. But when they came to APC, and I kind of think I know why they did that. If you look at the argument that Tinubu and Olanipeku was trying to make, he was trying to pass the bulk of double nomination to APC. He was trying to say, Shetima wrote the letter, I'm only representing Shetima. APC transmitting the letter or not does not concern us and all that. So what Peter Obi's team did was, when they got to APC's written address, they took on the issue of double nomination very deeply. And I mean very deeply. And that was funny because if you have read the written address of APC, that's the one APC wrote, not the one PO replied now. If you had read the written address of APC, you would know that APC, for some funny reasons, didn't really argue Shetima double nomination. They just only said, Supreme Court have already blah, 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 and they just left it. Go and read that document. If you're as keen as me, you know. So it was as if someone brought broomstick, LP lawyers brought bazooka. Someone brought broomstick to want to fight. Then LP lawyers brought bazooka. Like it was. I was just like, this is on another level. So they argued double nomination more strictly. Then when they got to INEC, what they argued the most, as in extremely the most, was non-substantial compliance. And I'm like, where else better to argue this than on INEC? Although they argued it, for me, they also argued it very extremely on APC and PD, on Tinubu's this thing. But, for INEC, they went, an extra extreme. They went a little bit further. So they pulled out a table. A blood result that we tendered was only from us. Like, I was thinking the one, I know LP got some, like we got some blood INEC. So I was just thinking maybe we got a few just to further buttress the case that it's not only our person that downloaded it from IRF, even INEC, the one that INEC provided is also like this if you want to compare. So the IRF copy from both INEC and our own, so I thought maybe they brought only a few. It was only today I realized that the blood result that INEC certified and gave to LP is over 8,000. I mean, the ones that INEC certified and gave to LP.
It was in 4 boxes.
I am telling you.
4 boxes.
Over 8,000. And I'm like, what? So, so that's the strategic way they went about it. So today, what we just want to do is, for us, if you are to speak, you can, ask. Okay, you see. ask questions based